on, let's kill something now.
Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Baldur's Gate 2, the Enhanced Edition, The Shadows of Arm. And when last we left off, we've dealt with the Master of Thralls, and we've also destroyed the Mastery Orb, meaning that any Thralls that are still alive are free, and will likely have either died trying to escape, or succeeded in spiriting themselves away. Their escape, and ours, will not be permanent, however, until the Cambion is dead. And the Cambion is right ahead of us and is very annoyed.
Yes.
We're gonna have to take it out. And I have a plan that, if it works, will trivialize the encounter. If it doesn't, well, we'll just have to take it as it comes. Let's move forward and come face to face with our jailer.
Very well.
Guards! Guards! The thralls are escaping! The fools! Call on the Master of Thralls. I wish to know what is occurring here. I will tear this plane apart to have those filthy slaves returned. I will flay the skin from their... What is this? You are not my guards. It is you. You are causing these problems. I shall take the rest of eternity to make you suffer. We're going to pause. And we're going to use our ace up our sleeve. Power word silence. Let's just hope that this goes off before all of your spells do.
What would you have me
Because
do?
if it doesn't, well, you'll see. Let's go. And I think we did it fast enough because you're taking quite a lot of damage and you are dead. 10,000 experience is nowhere near enough for how challenging you are. If the Cambion gets off all of its abilities, it creates a simulacrum. It buffs itself into oblivion. And I would have had a very difficult time even scratching it. My party would have very quickly been incapacitated and killed. But Powered Silence, once again, came to the rescue. It helped us defeat a Lich, and it helped us overcome the Cambion. Is there nothing that you can't do, apart from deal with a fighter? And any other threat that doesn't cast spells? Okay, there's a lot it can't do. But when it works, and my, do you get a good reward for dealing with the Cambion. 2,577 gold. Not including all of the gems. 2-star sapphires, and I think it's actually 3-star sapphires. Yep, 3, and 2 emeralds. As well as a selection of powerful magical items. We have this item here, and some items that Edwin is going to identify. A selection of +1 longswords.
We're in an age of murder, child. Killing is our business. On business be good.
Ah, there's nothing like battle to make your blood run hot. War be my salvation, and the measure of this man and all men verily. Agreed. The sword makes the man, and is the only true measure of his worth and metal. Perhaps your head tain't empty, but mostly hollow with some good sense vapours fogging your goggles. It seems like we're in Corgan's good books with that fight. I'm not surprised. It was quite a short and bloody one. Now let's get these identified. Longsword +1, +1, +1, and +1. They were pretty easy to figure out because we've seen those before in the previous game. And this one. Now, as for these items, this shaft belongs to a halberd, missing only the blade. It is of a brilliant aquamarine stone, carved along its length with depictions of waves. This is the wave shaft. This is a piece of the wave, a powerful halberd created as a weapon of vengeance by a cult worshipping Umbali. It apparently draws water out of its victims, and is able to slay creatures of fire almost instantly. Tales say the wave was lost long ago to the fire giants of the Stormhorn Mountains, but was eventually found by the adventurer Argonon of the Long Reach. He either lost the weapon to a wager in the planar city of Sigil, or it rests with his bones when his ship was sunk during a great storm in the Sea of Swords. No one knows for sure. What we do know is that it's currently in 2 pieces, and if we can find the head of the wave, we could then get it fixed by Cromwell. As for this long sword, this is Ajatha the Drinker +2. This blade belonged to Dabar, a long-dead servant of Baal that exercised control over his minions in the most brutal of ways. In addition to strengthening the mind against the guile of others, the sword absorbs life energy from an opponent with each successful hit, healing the user. Dabar considered it a failure of his officers if he returned from battle in less than perfect health, and as the rest of the company watched, he would administer beatings until fully healed. It gives you immunity to charm and domination spells, which is really handy. It also heals you for 1 hit point per hit, and with this being a longsword, you can attack quite quickly with it. It doesn't have anything else that's especially powerful about it, and while it would have been useful when we were earlier level, right now it's just something that we're going to sell.
Yes.
There are other things that we can grab, like this key. This key is very important. This is the Planar prison cell key. This rod is actually a key of strange design. This key was found on the warden's body in the strange extraplanar prison the Realis and Herr Delis were taken to. It is most likely the key to the prisoner's cell. I think that's a typo from the original game. Curious that I never noticed it before. We need that to get out of here.
Go bother
There's also something else that we can look at.
Yes,
This right here, which contains a little bit of magical ammunition. We have some bullets +1, and we have some bolts of biting. We could always do with more of them.
Have you nothing else
Before
to
we
do but
leave,
bother me?
there's one more way that we can go, and that is this way. And of course we can look at this thing. This chair looks to be more of a device of torture than anything else. Let's not sit in it, and let's try and avoid that thing there while we go and grab one thing that I forgot to here. Goodies that are contained there. Some magical darts. I believe they are darts of stunning. Mists swirl deep within this hole, perhaps a portal to elsewhere. It may very well be, but we're not going to be jumping down it, because we have a more reliable way of getting out of here, and that is indeed a pile of darts of stunning. We don't want to keep them, we'll sell them later. And later will not actually be that far in the future, as there's a little more for us to explore. Oh! Never mind! There are a group of Umber Hulks that just appeared out of nowhere. And that's unfortunate, but fortunately, Corgan is the one to face them. Great that you were in front, despite the fact that Terri is faster. We're going to have you pasted, and then we're going to bring the fight to you. Starting with taking care of the Minotaur, and then mopping up the Umber Hulks. We could also have you zap some chain lightning here. It's not likely that they're going to attack you. There we go. And one more chain lightning should do the trick. Brilliant. You want to take care of this one? It's a great thing that you were in the front. Otherwise, that could have ended nastily. I think you can handle this now. That's another one taken care of. And another one. 4,000 experience per Umber Hulk. It's quite a lot. And that's done. Now let's have a look over here. I'm not sure that there's anything really significant in here. It's just a room that serves no purpose. It could very well have been where the Cambion chose to rest when not dealing with the prisoners, but it's got nothing in it, and there's nothing to loot. Let's rest before we go the other way. I believe that way... made the mistake of resting while Corgan was berserking. Now Corgan is fine.
Okay, I'm busy.
We probably want to check out the Da'ani's hold at some point. We have been in here for quite a bit. And I believe this way is the way to the captives we're looking for. And there they are. There is Luciana, there is Kirinaldo, and Raelish Shy. I think Herr Delis is over there. With the key, we should be able to go in and free them.
My dear Raven, valiant as always. You are poetry. You are song.
I have no idea why you're calling us that, Herr Delis. I don't know you well enough.
You have known us for so short a time, and yet you have bought our freedom with blood. My child, my friend, it is a debt I can never repay.
You could start by giving us the 1,000 gold that you promised us. That's really the only reason we came here. But we must go before the Duke marshals his forces. I will use what powers I have remaining to open another conduit. Are you ready, Herr Delise? Also, we gained 44,000 quest experience points each. And that's not an insignificant number.
Miss Raelis, I cannot come with you. Not this time.
Oh? No? No more plays, Herr Delise? No more theatre? I wish I could, Raelis, but I am just another moth come too close to your flame. To love you is to smother that flame in my own death. I shall not do it. Don't be a fool, Herr Delise. There was no mystery right of our play. I wrote a comedy of terrors. It was mine. I brought all this upon us. I know, Miss Raelis. You'll have my heart forever, but I must do as I must. Perhaps Terri will let me travel with her for a time, but the Prime beckons this sparrow regardless. You're not travelling with us, Herr Delise. You are chaotic neutral, and our party is pretty full as it is. Even if we could have a seventh person, you wouldn't be a member of the team. Then go, my lovely Herr Delise. Remember us fondly in your musings. And you, Terri Coleman, go with my thanks and take yon lovely moth with you. No. Edwin gained a level. I'm excited about that.
This sparrow is ready to fly. At your command, of course.
So, my raven, the Prime is a playground for us both. Shall we journey together to marvel at its glories? I think we should go our own ways for now. Perhaps we shall meet again later. So be it. I will linger with the Primes here for a short while yet. Should you change your mind soon, my raven, you can find me in the tavern above. We're not going to be changing our mind. We're going to be leaving you there forever.
Nothing to it.
If you were a bard, completing this short quest line gives you access to your stronghold, which is this theatre, which you then run. But we're not a bard, so we won't be doing that. Instead, we're going to be leveling up Edwin. And gaining some 7th level spells. Oh my! Now, we're starting to become powerful. We have Kelbin's Warning Whip. We have a Limited Wish, which I am going to memorize. We also have Power Word Stun. We have Summon Jinn, Summon Ifrit. And we have Summon Hakashah. We're going to prepare a Kelbin's Warding Whip. And we're going to prepare a Summon... I think we're going to prepare a Summon Jinn, because the Jinn seems to be a lot more powerful than the Ifrit. There we go.
Yes,
Marvellous.
What should I fetch
We have
now?
some things that we need to sell. Oh my, we have things to sell. And while we're here, we might as well rest up and get those spells ready to cast.
Hello, me good smiling friends.
I'd like to see what you have available. And so we go to rest, and I think we have earned a royal room. The rest was luxurious. And now it's off to the adventurer mart. As always, where else would we go?
Very well.
The fastest way out is this way. And you're definitely going to get there faster than anyone else. And now I've got to learn that I shouldn't click to leave an area with you moving so fast, because we'll keep hearing that we must gather our party before venturing forth a lot of times if we do. It is currently hour 1. There should be quite a bit of time before day.
Whatever you want.
So off to the promenade we go.
If you say
I
so.
don't think we're going to meet anybody in particular on our route there, but it always pays to be observant just in case there's somebody that you don't recognize, and I'm surprised you're still up and about this early. I suppose trade never sleeps, eh? I'm not surprised you're up so early. You're just doing your job. But I suppose the merchant is also just doing their job. And I haven't spoken to you yet. Maybe I'll speak to you at some point. But for now, we must do some bartering.
Of course.
We're not going to think of stealing something. right now anyway. Let's take this, and we will take this, because we have a lot of merching to do. Now, what do you have that I can get rid of? You have this, and that as well, this as well, and this as well. And while I'm thinking about it, we'll pass this over to you, and might as well get rid of them and just drop them. I don't know why I'm holding on to those. I think we're pretty good to go. So, let's do some selling.
Ribald Barterman at your service.
We are interested in the items that you have, or more importantly, you'll be interested in the items that we have. That's 1,200 gold. This is a small selection of gold. 450 for the Ring of Princes +1. We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of all of these. Then we will sell and open up the gem bag, because we can get rid of some Skydrop gems, and we can get rid of some Moonbar gems, some gold necklaces, an onyx ring, 2 of these tier necklaces that I completely forgot that I had, the garnet gems, silver ring, these gems, that gem, this gem, that necklace, this. We'll keep the water opal, get rid of all of those, and all of these, leaving us the really valuable gems. Ah yes, the really valuable ones, but we still got 4,000 there. And we have another gem bag that we can look through. What do we have in here that we want to get rid of? I don't think we have as much, but I may be surprised. I probably will be surprised. Remember when I spent all of that gold before and marveled at the fact that so much had been spent on so few items? This is why I wasn't so worried about doing it, because we have another one of those. Because we're doing quite a good job at accumulating even more gold, and we haven't even gone into the bag yet. Oh, the bag will have a lot of stuff. Like we can get rid of... I want to get rid of these, actually. Get rid of all of them. Get rid of the stiletto. Get rid of... We can get rid of the Sword of Chaos and the Berserking Sword. We have no need for them. We'll get rid of this suit of full plate. We'll get rid of that. This. The Cleric Staff. We'll get rid of that. The gem. The bracers. All of these. And that. 2 potions of genius. Potion of stone form. There's just a lot of stuff that we can get rid of, and this is... It could be useful, I suppose. That's not useful. That I'm never going to use. These I'm not going to use. 3,000 gold for that. Yep, that's quite a valuable item. This, that. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Never going to use that. Or this. Keeping that. Getting rid of that. There's a lot of things that we can get rid of for 16,000, which brings us just shy of 100k once again. And while I'm thinking about it, let us get out Celestial Fury, because you can now use this semi-competently, and it has a speed factor of 1, which makes it a really good weapon for you to use, and I think it's time to sell that. And while I'm thinking about it, we'll sell this as well. I'm never going to use that either.
The Adventure Mart
You should give us a fair amount more coin. Yep, 2,100 and another 1,800. We are just shy of 100,000, and you know what? We could get that by getting rid of a lot of this. Let's get rid of a lot of these, because I'm not really going to use many of these here. We'll keep that. Get rid of that, this. Not really going to use that either. Or that. Actually, we'll keep that. But we'll still get rid of that. Sell that for 800. Then, we'll go to the other scroll cases. And we are going to be in these ones a while. Just get rid of everything. Get rid of that. This, all these here, because I'm never going to remember to cast them. Definitely not going to remember to cast that. Another power word stun. We already have one. We already have a few of them too. Get rid of. Keep the protection from fire scroll. Don't need that, or that, or that, or this. This is where a lot of money is saved up, in these scrolls. These scrolls that are probably just going to pay for more scrolls that we're going to scribe. But we are now back up to 100,000. And there are more scrolls to sell. A lot more scrolls. Get rid of all these, and that's another 3,000. And while I'm thinking about it, let's actually have a look at those scrolls that I do not know, or rather have chosen not to identify. Protection from undead. We don't know that one. And protection from electricity. Who wants to bet that this is horribly cursed? If you thought it was cursed, you're right, because the cursed ones seem very difficult to identify by just examining them. There is a reason why. That is so that you don't immediately figure out that they are cursed. But by just looking at them and seeing that they're harder to identify, you'll know that they're cursed. And with that, we are back up to 100,000 gold once again. Over that, in fact. And while you may think that we're off to Watcher's Keep, we're not going to be going there so quickly. There is something that we can do now that we have access to Limited Wish.
Go bother someone
And it's
else.
very silly indeed. But it's definitely worth doing.
Have you nothing else to do
And
but
so,
bother me?
when we come back, folks, an adventure like no other. Quite literally. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.